There are four types of device racks in Live, and we've looked at a couple of them. The first one would be an audio effect rack. When I add an audio effect rack to an audio track, I get a blank bucket. The best analogy here would be to think of it like the real world. Okay, so this is my rack that's sitting right next to me. This is an audio rack. I have microphones, I have bass guitars, I have a DI, I've got a mic pre, Pro Tools, blah, 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 delay unit, etc., etc. And guitar pedals, all of it, a mixer. This is exactly what this is. I can drag in tube effects, I can drag in a filter pedal, I can drag in a gates, I can do third-party effects all into this one bucket. Okay, audio effect rack. And I'm going to start talking about chains. What's a chain? Chaining is just this. See those cords? They're going in and out of things and all around. That's chaining. That's all it is. So it's just plugging stuff together. And so Live's terminology for that is called chaining. Okay, MIDI effects. We've looked at these some. When I put a blank MIDI effect rack on a track, I get the very same thing. I get a place to drag MIDI effects, a blank bucket. To carry the analogy through, this is MIDI effects. The way my APC reacts with things, the way my pad control reacts with things, my microcontrol, even to the point of this keyboard, that also is a MIDI device. And over here is a remote control, and Ableton can be controlled by Wii remotes and all kinds of very cool stuff. iPhones. These would be MIDI effects, okay? And just to refresh your memory, if I want to do my computer keyboard as a MIDI instrument, I have it there, and I can see the MIDI coming in if I hit my computer keyboard, just like that. Okay, that's two effects. There's two more. There's instruments. There is an instrument rack. I just create a new instrument rack, and I have a place to drag what? Instruments. So this to my left is an instrument rack from the old school. I got synthesizers and beatboxes and an old Oberheim and a Nord, and that's an instrument rack. Okay, so I can drag multiple new instruments, synths, all kinds of stuff in here, and I can chain all this together. See this word chain? That's just what? That is simply patching things together. Those chords that I showed you, that's a chain. My last and final device type is called a drum rack. Now a drum rack is unique in and of itself in that it has a drum pad interface, and the analog is this guy here. That's a CAT controller. It's got a drum pad interface, and it's triggering what? Samples from drums. So that's the description there. Now, drum racks have some unique problems. Drums are the most unmanageable of all instruments, which is, of course, why I'm a drummer, because I love it. Okay, so in here I can drag different kits, different things. I can assign these little pads to different things, just like here. Okay, there we have it. That's four types of devices. From this point on, when I say chaining, device chain or instrument rack, you know exactly what we're talking about. Very good.